Welcome to MountBlue Prep. MountBlue Prep is a preparatory track of MountBlue, which helps you in improving your problem solving skills and make an easy entry to the MountBlue. So, in today's session, we are going to have problem solving in arrays and strings. Let's take up this problem. First of all, one of the students yesterday has asked, so I thought of taking up this. Let's look at the problem here. An integer number is given. So what we are required to do means we have to take the individual digits of that number. You're going to have individual digits of 124 as 1, 2, and 4, and check whether the given original number is divisible by this number 1, that is individual numbers. So how many numbers it is, the original number is divisible by that, then that will be the value that is returned from the function. Now in this case 124 is there, 124 is divisible by 1 as well as 2 as well as 4, that is the individual digits. So we have to return here the value as 3. Now in the next case you can see we are having 131. Suppose if 131 is given, what are the individual digits in 131 is 1, 3 and 1. So in this case, what is the value here? 3 is there. In this case 3 is not divisible. 131 is not divisible by 3, so we are not going to take that one into consideration. So 1 and 1, yeah, it is divisible by, so we are going to return what? True. So what is the basic logic here is that you are going to have 130 given number is there, so we have to take the individual digits from that number. So how do we take that individual digits from a given number? Yes, let's go and solve that. Text.js only. This is the problem. Hope you understood this. So in this case, first of all, what we had to do, first, let's write a function check for the given number. And then let's do a console.log of check of. Suppose if you are given a number 121, which should return its output as 2. Okay, if it is 124, let's do that one first. So what is the logic here that goes? Let's try to understand that first. Here in this case, suppose if let us take 124. Suppose if the number 124 is given, so how you are going to get the individual digits from that number? Okay. So for that, what we are going to do, 124, I'm going to divide this by 10. So what will be the mod value we are going to get is 4. We got that one. Next, suppose if I divide 12 mod 10, I'll get the remainder as how much? 2. Next, I'm getting 1 mod 10. So you'll be getting the remainder here as 1. Then in that case, next case is what? 0. So we got the individual digits like 4 we got, 2 we got, and 1. So we had to repeat. Suppose if it is a 4-digit number, suppose it was like this. Okay, then you 1 2 4 9 mod 10 would give you the value as 9. So it can be any length number. So we have to go on dividing. Suppose in this case we have to repeat. So how many times this loop will repeat? If you are given 12490, it will repeat 4 times. If you are having a 3-digit number, it will repeat 3 times. So that is how we are going to iterate through the individual digits. And we have to check for that condition. What is that? Is it divisible by that original number? Good. So first of all, let's try and get that now. For that, I am using the while loop. So you can check here, while what is the condition? As long as the n value is greater than 0. N is nothing but the original value here. So condition that we are going to test is as long as n value is greater than 0, it should repeat, isn't it? So whenever this n value, n is this number, instead of this we are having it as n. So what we are going to do here, we have to go on dividing. So how we are going to divide that one? Let's declare one variable reminder for this one. Rem is equals to 0 initially. So reminder is equals to n mod 10. Good. See here, whenever we are getting the reminder, you can just console.log of rem. Now once we have divided and we got the remainder here, next time it should be divided this one. So how we are going to get this part here? It is 124, we are going to get this one. So that you're going to get it by what? N is equals to n slash 10. That is n divided by 10 will give that one. Let's check that one. So what is the output we are getting? Let's check here. We are getting the individual digits of a number. Yes. See here, how many times it has repeated when we are given 124, we got 4 here, isn't it? Good. Then this many times it is repeating. So we are not getting the integer part of this number, isn't it? So let's console.log and do the n as well. So what we are getting n here. Comma rem, sorry, n. Obviously, get that carefully. This is what I want you to observe here actually. So we are getting individual digits here 1, 2, 4, but in between, like this part is giving us the decimal part. Like 124 divided by 10, we are getting the value here 120, 12 point something. Yeah, 12.4 we are getting, isn't it? We don't want that value in decimals. It should be only in integers. It should be only in integers. So how we are going to do that one? How we are going to solve that? Fine. Cool. So whenever we are dividing this one, isn't it? It should be purely integer. So let's take that one. Math dot floor of this one, isn't it? When before assigning this one, and let's run this one. Yeah, it's right now. So we got the remainder 4 here, n value is 12. We got the remainder 2, isn't it? And n value is 1. We got the remainder 1 and n value is 0 here. Good. So 3 times it has repeated. If you are not giving this one math.floor, it would give you value in decimals and that would repeat further for many number of times and it will give us invalid input. Now whenever we are getting the remainder, we have to check what if the original number n has been changed. So we can declare one variable here, let some temporary variable temp is equals to n. Why we are doing this one is that original number has changed. So you are giving here if temp mod remainder is equals to 0. So you're going to check if temp mod rem is equals to 0. Then what you are going to do here, you are going to count it. So declare one variable for count, let count is equals to 0 initially. Count plus plus. So when you are coming out, you are going to just return that count, totally how many factors were there. That were exactly divisible by that original number. Yeah, when we are given 124, we got the output as 3. It's correct, isn't it? Suppose if you are having 124, you can take this example. If you have 124, you'll get here 4. 4. Okay, then 124, when you're going to divide it by 4, you get the remainder as 0. This criteria is satisfied. Then you have 124 mod 2. 2 is also a factor is equals to 0. This criteria is satisfied. And when you have 124, last number is this one. So 124 mod 1 is equals to 0. This criteria is also satisfied. So you get the count as 3. There are 3 numbers in that are divisible by that original given number. Good. Yeah, instead of using strings and converting, it will make it complicated, isn't it, Ashok? Like directly we can do it using this process. It's very simple. There's no need of any arrays, any strings, any split. When you're given a simple problem, just do it in this way. Yeah, you can use that logic as well. Good. Let's check with some other number as well. Like console.log check of, suppose 131 is given. In this case, the output should be 2. Yeah, we're getting the number output as 2. So in this case, when we are having 131, what is the scenario here? We have 131. So 131 first factor is 1, isn't it? Then you're getting 3, then 1. So when you're getting 1 and 1, it is divisible. Well, so 131 divided by 3, you don't get 0. So this is not the one that satisfies our criteria. So we are going to take 1 and 1. So the output is what? 2. That is also correct. Let us give a large number. Suppose if we have a 0 here, then in that case also it should be what? 2. In that case also the output is 2. Why? Because 0 is not divisible by, so you have 1, 1 that is divisible by, and 3 and 0 are not. So you're getting the output as 2. That is also correct. So it's a simple logic, like you're going to have this one wherein you're going to find. Now if you are not remove this is the place where you have to pay attention here. If you're not giving math or floor here, if you round off also will not get the correct answer. So better function to use here is math.floor. Why? Because if you are getting 12.6, it will round off to 13. That will give us incorrect answer. isn't it? Suppose 12.4 you are getting, when we are taking floor, you will get the value as 12. Cool. Any queries in this? Any queries in this? No. Fine. I hope your problem is solved, Ashok. This serves your purpose, wherein we are using a simple logic to do this one. Yeah, let's go to the next problem here. Yeah, let's take up the next problem, that is find the length of the longest consecutive sequence from a given integer array. Now, in this case, you are given a integer array of num. Then from that you have to find out the longest consecutive sequence. The numbers are randomly placed, like 1, 2, 10, then 3 and 8. Now in this case, what will be the output? So the number of consecutive digits are what? 1, 2 and 3. So the output should be 3 here. In this case, you are having 1, 3, 4, then not 9, 10, 11, 12. So these are consecutive, so you are getting the output as 4. So how shall we do that? From a given array. Console.log, let's take the same example and check it out. Let's call this function find consecutive. isn't it? So we are having the numbers in the random order. First of all, let's see here what we are getting here. Console.log array. So we are having the elements in the random order, isn't it? Let's first of all sort this one and check it out how we are going to have it. So how we are going to sort this one? Let's do this one. R is equals to R dot sort. Here in the ascending order, we can take, you can take a comma B, then A minus B. This would give us in sorted order. You can see a 1, 2, 3, 8, 10. We got the elements in the sorted order. So what is the basic logic that we are going to apply to find the consecutive, longest consecutive sequence here? So what is the longest consecutive sequence that we are going to have? Now in this case, the given array is, when we are sorting it, we got it like this: 1 comma 2 comma 3 comma 8 and 10. So we are going to say two numbers are consecutive. When, if take the example a of 0, we have to compare it with the next number. So how we are going to give it? 0 plus 1. That will give you the immediate next number in the array. If a of 0 would give us this one, a of 0 plus 1 would give us this number. Now how we are going to check whether they are consecutive? Generally consecutive number have a difference of 1. So if subtract 1 from this one, if we get this number is equals to the next number minus 1, then they are said to be what? Consecutive. Good. So how we are going to check whether they are consecutive is the logic here. We need to traverse, we need to loop through the array. For that, you can use a loop here for let I is equals to 0, I less than array dot length, semicolon I plus plus. So what we need to check here, what is the condition that we have to apply here? If, yeah, array of I, index I, the element at the index of I, whether it is equals to array of next element, you are going to get I plus 1, isn't it? Then if it is equals to what? Minus 1, then in this case it will become consecutive. So if it is consecutive, then we are going to just count here. So you can take one variable here, count. Let count is equals to 0. So in this case, just you are going to increase the value of the count. If two numbers are consecutive in an array, then just increase the count. So in this case, the count will be what? 1, isn't it? Then 2 and 3, then you are getting what? Count as 2. Then in this case, when 3 and 8 are there, this is false. Then 8 and 10 is there, it's false. Let's see this one. So what we are getting the count here when we're coming out of the loop here. Console.log of count. Yeah, there's an error. A is not defined. So in this case, array name is ARR. Am I audible? Yes, fine. So what we are going to have count, we are getting it is what, 2. So there are 2 consecutive sequences that we are getting here in this case. That's right. Now this criteria is okay, fine. Now suppose if we are having 1, 2, 3 here, there is a break here, 8. Now after that, suppose if we have a consecutive sequence, 11, comma 12, comma 13. So what would be the result here in this case? Yeah, we have to change here also. Comma 11, comma 12, comma 13 and 14. Then in this case, what is the consecutive sequence we are getting? You can see here. We are getting it as what, 6. It's wrong. Isn't it? Longest consecutive sequences start from here, 10, 11, 12, 13 and 4. Isn't it? In that case, it should be what? 4. But we got it as 6. Why? Because it has taken into consideration this first sequence at the beginning as well. Okay. So let's change the logic here for that as well. So how we are going to do that one? So what is the logic for this one? Else you are going to have here count again starting from 0. Okay. Now let's declare whatever count was there. No, like previous we have counted. Like in this case, suppose if you are getting this count here, it is what, 2. There are 2 consecutive sequences, isn't it? So we can have here count starting from 0. But before this, what was the count value? Let us give it to one variable here. Let max count is equals to 0. Then we'll give here max count is equals to count value. We are going to first of all assign to this max count. So this is the scenario when suppose there is a change here. 1, 2, 3 was consecutive. So 3 is equals to 8. This is false. These 2 are not consecutive. So this will break here. So in that case, the condition here would be evaluated to false. So in this case, it will come to else. Now we are going to start again. Is there any sequence that is consecutive? Isn't it? Suppose if you are not having, this would be the one which is the longest consecutive sequence, 1 to this one. If you are not having, but we have that one, so we have to count from this again. So count value we are setting it to 0, and this would iterate at what value here? When I value is what here, 3, it will change here, and from that place again we have to go on counting the consecutive numbers. Good. Now at the end we need to have, so what you are going to return is the max count. Let's print this also here. You can see a count is 0, max count is 4. Okay, so we got the answer correct. Good. So we are having a consecutive sequence of 4. That is right, isn't it? Now suppose if it was like this, instead of 11, 13 and 14, if this was the earlier sequence was the greatest one, we are having like 4, comma 5, comma 6 also. Then we had to find the greatest. This is the count we got. Max count was this one. Now count is this value. Great. If we get multiple consecutive sequences, then so how we are going to return the value? Now let's see here. 3, comma 4, comma 5, comma 6 if we are having. In this case also we are getting answer as 4. That is wrong. Why? Because this should be the longest consecutive sequence. So what we had to do here, we had to return what maximum among these two values. Good. So how we are going to do that one? Return math dot max of max count comma count. So among these two, which one is greater, that value will be returned. And we don't have to traverse up to this one, so you can just take here -1. Why -1? Last number is there, last number, after that there is no number, so we can just reduce one iteration there. So in this case, 1 2 3, yeah, 3 is coming two times. Okay, that's why there is a break here. Okay, 3 has come, so we will not have duplicates here. Good. So 1 2 3 4 sequence is there, 1 2 3 and 4. Max count is 0. Good. Area of I plus 1 minus 1. Good. Five. 1 2 3 4 5. 5 here. In the place of 8, it has dropped. So 1 2 3 4. Okay. Fifth sequence is this one. 5 comma 6. Okay. Let's do a console.log of count here. Yeah, count value is 5 here. It's good. So max count is equal to this one. So max count will have the value as what? 5. Okay. Okay. Good. So we need to have this one here itself. This statement to be written here itself. Max count is equals to math dot max of max count comma max. So if the current value is greater than that one, we are going to have that one. Okay. So we will get it right now. So it is not max, it is what? Count. Yeah, we got the answer right now. So in this case, you can see a longest consecutive sequences of 5. So you have 1, 2, 3, and 4 and 5. So why we are writing this one? Suppose we got the value here. Max count was 5 here. Now count value we got it as 4. So among this one, which one is greater, that we have to take. If you simply assign 4 value, then 5 would be replaced. So that was the highest actually. So that is how we are going to check it. Math.max of max count comma count. So how this is happening here, you can see in this case. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we'll get here max count was 5 here. Now it will break here. So whenever it is breaking here, this will go to else. Okay. So this count we are setting it to 0. Then max count is what? 5. Good. Now from here again count would be increased. So count would be what? 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we are having max count as 5 and count is 4. So greatest among this one, maximum among this one is what? 5. So max count is 5. So count will become again 0. So you are going to come out of the loop. When you're coming out of the loop, just you can return what? Max count. No need of this statement here. Good. So this is how you can find the longest consecutive sequence in a given array. Yeah, where the array is not having any repeated elements and the array is not in the sorted order as well. Is that okay? Any queries in this?